guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have brought back this little peach that I have worked on previously. This peach tree right here produces the peach type that you would typically buy in a can. Now I'm not exactly sure of the type of the peach, however I had actually decided to bonsai this tree, and as you can see from the previous video, it has grown up quite a lot. So far the tree itself has not lost too much of a shape. However, as you saw in the previous video when I was testing the Amazon toolkit, and if you haven't seen the video, here's a link. I did create this little map over here, and what we're going to do is that we're going to follow the map to figure out which branches that had grown we're going to have to cut and which ones we had to keep. So one of the main things that we need to do so far is just pretty much bring it back to its original shape, and then we can determine which branches we get to keep and which ones we get to cut off. So with me I have this branch cutters, and we do have two large branches growing from the bottom. Intentionally I had actually left one. So what we're going to do is that we're going to cut these branches right here. As you can see, they're quite large, and intentionally I had previously left one behind so that it could help thicken the trunk. However, I think it's time for them to be removed since they're starting to get harder right now. So these branches are, one of them seems to be about 3 feet tall, and the other one maybe like 3.5. What we're going to do is that we're just going to go ahead and remove it from the bottom. There we go. And here they are, pretty long. And we really don't have any need for this. I can't really see if I can propagate it. However, I just don't find it any use for it. If I do decide to propagate it, I'll just make some cuttings and put some root form on in it. Next we do have this one over here too, and as well I'm going to have to cut it back. So now we can actually see a little bit more of the shape of the tree, just like this. And as you see it in this way, folks are now looking at the front of the tree. Just going to go ahead and remove this a little bit more from over here so you guys can get an idea of what the bottom looks like. Here we have it. Right here you folks are actually facing the front of the tree. I'm not sure if you can see much clearly towards the bottom. But what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be cutting off these branches back a little bit more, as well as this one. And then we're just going to try to reposition some of the branches so that we can extend the growth of the trees. We do have a 3-leaf stem system over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut back up to maybe 3 leaves, and as soon as we have some new growth I'm going to cut back a little bit more. The reason why I'm doing this is just to provide a little bit more room of the dieback, since some of these branches can die a little bit more, and I don't want to try to risk most of the tree branch. So we're going to cut back that. 1, 2, 3. Here. And 1, 2, 3. About right there. Okay. We have decided that this one was going to be the main leader branch. This one I feel like there is really no need for it, since I do want just a little bit more growth up in this direction. So this one I'm going to have to get rid of. Actually, now that I think about it, I'll probably stand it back a little bit more. So this one I'm going to cut right about here. So with those branches gone, we can actually see a little more of the shape of the tree. And now that we do have a little more of the green structure, we're going to go ahead and reposition the branches in the manner that we want. This one for now I'm just going to keep, and I'm just going to bring it back just a little bit so that it can create kind of like a back branch to it. But we do see some new growth right here. I can start to see a little bit more of a branch growth on this direction, so eventually these two are going to split like that. And the tree itself has actually grown quite a lot, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get rid of the wire because it's strangling the tree and it's actually bleeding quite a bit, so we don't want this tree to die. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the wire. I'm pretty sure that at this point the branches has hardened in the position that I want, because They are turning brown, like a woody brown. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them like that and just reposition the new ones that we had established. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin by just taking off the wire, at least in the areas where we are experiencing some new growth. And you can pretty much do this with any wire cutter. However, I do recommend something like this because you can actually get exactly into the wire instead of just damaging the branch. So go ahead and get yourself some of these. As you can see, the branch itself pretty much staying in the position that we wanted it from the beginning, so that's good. Perfect. So now we have these branches over here. Now all we need to do is just somehow bring them down. Alright, so the next step right here is that we're actually going to be using some of the plastic that we had obtained from the pot. And what we're going to do is that we're going to cut 2 small pieces, maybe 3. And this right here will also help us with the anchorage of the branches. Now, these ones are a little bit too hard at the point. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to lower them a little bit by attaching some of the wire to the pot and then just anchoring them down. So for that, we do need to create 2 little holes, and we want to go as low as we can because since it's plastic and the wire itself is pretty thin, it can definitely cut off the whole entire pot. So put in the wire through the pot like so. Bring it up, and then puncture 2 little holes in the piece of plastic, and then just bend it down right here and put the wire through each one of the little holes. Now all you have to simply do is bring the branch down as much as you can without breaking it. By doing so, we had actually positioned one of the branches, and this one we can actually try to lower just a little bit more by simply twisting the wire. Go. The other one doesn't need repositioning as much, so we're just going to leave it as is. This one right here, we're just going to leave it just to see if we can propagate new branches, and as soon as we are done so with that, then we should be fine. This one I feel like it can actually just be wired down. I added a little bit of wire and then just wired this branch down a little bit and twisted it to the side so that we can have the back of the tree. This one over here has become my main leader branch. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like this right now because it was sparring for a minute. So I'm just going to leave it rest a little bit and then eventually just move these up a little bit like this. I mean, here it is. We're going to be touching up this tree right here by the beginning of next spring, or possibly during the fall once it has gone dormant. The reason why I might not do it during the spring is because since the fact that this tree is about 2-3 years old now, I do want to see whether or not it's going to provide any fruit. So I'm just gonna figure it out then. But here we're left off with this little tree. If you folks have not joined our Facebook page yet, make sure you do so. I have provided a link down below. All you have to do is simply answer a few questions and I'll accept you into the group. We provide information and we help each other as well as we interact as a community. We do show our trees and we ask for recommendations as well as tips. I hope to see you in the group. Bonsai on.